And the question is really, do you trust me? Because you can know and you can like somebody, but do you trust them? I've had a lot of people that have been likable and they've been super nice. And I talked about that a few days back about the difference between nice and kind and how you want to stop being nice, because nice is fake. Because sometimes you can be nice to someone's face and be horrible behind their back. And the other one is like, do you respect them? But again, some people will command respect by stepping on others, and you don't see that part. In past friendships and connections, and even in relationships, there was this idea that somebody was super nice on the outside, and maybe they even volunteered, or maybe they did things for others, and it seems like they're altruistic, but actually they were doing it for their own sense of inflated ego. They were doing it to look good. And sometimes people will be nice to you and you'll like them because they're doing things for you, but they're doing it because there's strings attached to those ulterior motives. Like they're basically, I'll give you this and I'm going to cash in the future. So the difference that I've discovered is true love versus the love that you get that's transactional. And that boils down to trust. Even with my clients, if they don't trust me, it's not going to work. So trust, as my dear friend Annie Lala says, has us in the middle. And it's all about the us. How can we make this relationship work for both of us? How can we make this transaction or this business work for both of us? Because if there's no actual trust built, it's just transactional, and somebody's going to get hurt and somebody's going to get stepped on and somebody else is going to benefit, but it's out of integrity. And integrity is really important to me. Authenticity is really important to me. You got to be real. So how do you build trust? Simple. You got to be willing to go first. You have to be willing to go first. You have to be willing to expose those skeletons in your closet that maybe you weren't so proud of, but you learned something from, because then you're not hiding anything. You also need to be willing to tell somebody how important they are to you, even when it's scary and even when you don't know how they feel about you, or you kind of suspect how they feel about you. And at the same time, it's like, I don't know if they're willing to take that leap. I've been building trust with people for pretty much all of my life. The thing that I didn't recognize is that people were not as authentic as I was. So I would be out there being my authentic self, and I was fully trustable, but they weren't. I didn't see the difference. I didn't recognize that there were people out there that would actually put up a false persona just to get me to trust them. Now I've become more discerning because I have my boundaries in place, and I can tell the difference between when somebody is real with me and when somebody is pretending. I can also tell when somebody either is shy or acts distant, but really there's deep underlying feelings of trust and love under there. It's just that they need to trust themselves. They need to trust their own judgment. The takeaway I want you to have, though, is that regardless of what other people are doing, you need to trust in yourself to have the judgment and be able to set the boundaries to protect yourself while still having your heart open. And recognizing that people will show you who they are, and it might take different levels of giving them something or showing them over and over and over again that you are for real. And people have different levels of pain and trauma that they went through. Maybe they themselves had a lot of fake people around them, and they take a while to trust. I mean, I'm a Scorpio. We are known for not trusting. But the truth is that we actually have really big hearts, and that's why we take a while to warm up to someone. But once we warm up to you, we are the most trustable, loving, authentic people. Trusting and loving, authentic people you will ever meet. And we wear our hearts on our sleeves. It's just that we've been hurt. And a lot of us have just been hurt. But you can't build authentic connections if the trust doesn't go both ways. So if you're being real with somebody and they're not being real with you, that doesn't mean close off your heart. That just means they're not ready. And maybe they'll never be ready to be real with you and to trust you fully. And that's okay. Just keep loving them. And that's really what I wanted to leave you with. Obviously, I have a whole lot more, but with Instagram constantly cutting in and out, it's just not happening today. So I'll probably have to go deeper into this at another point. So that's all I have for you today. And just keep wearing your heart on your sleeve and set those boundaries and just trust. Because it can be really lonely if you don't trust anyone. I mean, do you trust me? All right, I'll talk to you soon.